the young man arrived home to find his wife studying biology with a strange man. Enraged, he immediately tried to fight the scheming man. However, the man turned out to be a martial arts prodigy and kicked the young man down the stairs. Just as the young man thought he was about to die a humiliating death, he suddenly found himself transported to the time when he first met the woman. It happened to be her birthday, the day he confessed his feelings to her. Looking at the sharp-tongued woman before him, and remembering his tragic end in his previous life, the young man grabbed a cake and smashed it across her face. Seeing her furious reaction, the young man finally vented his anger. Just then, the system told the young man he only had 10 seconds left to live, urging him to quickly bind himself to the female lead and activate the mission. Following the mission prompts, the young man rushed towards the school beauty who had just walked by and kissed her. Unexpectedly, the school beauty also fell for him. This sci-fi scene instantly allowed the young man to successfully activate the system mission, and the system gifted him 60 days of lifespan. The young man was overjoyed and immediately asked the school beauty if they should do what couples do now that they were boyfriend and girlfriend. The school beauty was initially shy, but the young man only took her to buy jewelry. They happened to run into a woman who was filled with jealousy and inexplicably confident, stating that the school beauty was just a tool the young man used to spite her, that he would never like her, and that the young man was a poor boy who couldn't afford the jewelry there. The young man decided he had to prove himself no matter what. So he took out a loan to buy jewelry for the school beauty and received a system-gifted 10 million. The woman, seeing his actions, was furious and immediately mocked him, saying he couldn't afford the store's prized possession, claiming he couldn't afford it even if he sold it by weight. The young man immediately pulled out his bank card and shoved it at the store manager. The manager swiped the card but found the transaction failed and was about to have security throw the young man out when he nearly wet his diaper. Just then, the bank called, explaining that the young man's current bank card had spending restrictions. To avoid affecting his spending, the bank immediately sent someone to issue him a black card with no spending limits. It turned out that the system would give him a 70-fold cashback on every purchase. So the young man not only successfully swiped the card but also received a 140 million cashback from the system. The store manager immediately changed his attitude, not only presenting the store's prized possession with both hands but also slapping the woman, saying it was all her fault for almost offending the young man, a major customer. Seeing the young man's wealth, the woman quickly apologized, saying she would be his if he was willing to spend money on her. However, how could the young man still be interested in this gold digger? Meanwhile, in an office, an assistant hurriedly told the female CEO that the company was facing a cash flow crisis, and all the directors said they had no spare funds. The female CEO coldly stated that these ingrates were just waiting for her to go bankrupt so they could buy her shares. The assistant was furious, saying they would have gone bankrupt long ago if it weren't for the female CEO's help. But now wasn't the time to be angry. The female CEO ordered the assistant to bring over the necklace she had pre-ordered. She planned to find new investors at the banquet that evening. However, the assistant hesitated and said the necklace had already been bought by someone else. Upon hearing this, the female CEO was enraged. When she learned that it was a college student who hadn't yet graduated, she was puzzled. At that moment, an idea suddenly came to her mind.